In my previous video, I tried to recreate Minecraft over the weekend. It was a fun little challenge and I got a kickstart into 3D game dev. And since I'm in the remake game now, I thought I would try and recreate another game, a 2D game. And as I'm working on a pixel art metroidvania game, why not go back to the roots and create Metroid? The original. In 3D. I had a goal for this year, and that was to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so subscribe, I guess. I didn't know how I wanted to do this in 3D, so I started to look at some models on Sketchfab, but I really wanted it to have the same classic 8-bit look as the original, so I decided to create it myself. I really have enjoyed watching Cody Can't Eat This lately, and since I want to create it in the same pixel art style as the original, but in 3D, I'll have to do it in voxel art as well. There's just one problem. I have no idea how to do it. I did create some grass in my Minecraft video, but that was basically just 2D, just a 2D sprite dragged into Magic of Voxel. I started with Samus as I thought it would take some time. It took some time. I created the original 2D sprite in all directions first, dragged them into Magic of Voxel and tried to place them in a position that I could draw from. I was quite pleased with the result. It's absolutely good enough for my project at least, and now it's time to start making the actual game. So I created a new Unity project and got started on creating a few of the ground textures for the first area to have something to run and play around on. I smacked Samus into the world and added a character controller and maybe a tad too fast. I fixed the character controller and also found this outline of the world online and used it as a reference to create the world, and it's actually starting to take some form. But it's looking kind of weird with Samus just gliding around, so it's time for some animations. This was not something I looked forward to, since the first model took so long to make. I basically did the same procedure with the running animations, created the 2D sprites first and then brought them into Magic of Voxel and just start building from there. It's not the best looking animation, but hey, is the original really much better? I decided not to create the original running animation. I will just have the one with the gun forward as my default one, and also have the one where Samus aiming up. So that was what I worked with next. I tried to make new models for that, but I couldn't make it look as good as I would have hoped for. So I scrapped that and just used a simple rotation on the arm instead. So I just made chop chop and arm go bye bye. Then I patched together in Unity, add a little rotation, and there we have it. I mean, I probably should have put a little more work into the lookup models. After this, I wanted to continue working on the world a bit. As you can see, it's just a lot of copy and pasting the same blocks over and over again. And I should probably have removed some of the faces on my meshes during this as well, because it was quite a few meshes. It doesn't like my game, so I'll just leave it in for now. But as I'm creating the map, I need a few more models. So I created the pipe, the point, the rock in the roof, the doorway, and also the first item, Mari Mari, or however you pronounce that. I took a quick run through the first area to see how it looks, but I quickly realized that it's not much to see or do, just a whole bunch of this blue color that makes me nauseous. So the natural thing here would probably be to start with enemies, so I did just that and started with the zoomer. I did not know how to approach this. I just could not visualize how it would look in 3D, but I'm pretty sure it does not have two faces. So I found this image online and I got an idea how it should look. So here it is. Yeah, exactly the same. I started with this because it's the easiest enemy, so I wrote a little patrol script and it should work. I had a few problems where the enemy started to fly, so I added an offset to the rotation and now it's working fine. The next enemy to work on was the Scree. Here I created the head, the wings and the body separately. so that I could just animate it instead of creating models for the animation, and I think it's look decent anyways. The Scree dives at Samus when she gets in a certain range of the enemy, so I added a trigger collider around the enemy, and when she walks inside of it, the enemy dies down, and it also shoots projectile in all directions if you don't kill it in time. So when the enemy reaches the ground, a timer is started, and when it's 0, the enemy will be destroyed and projectiles will be fired. Here it is in action. I decided to create the models for all the enemies in the first area and also the red ones. I placed them in the world and now it's actually started to look like a game. Every enemy behavior looks okay except for this one, the Seb. It's supposed to charge forward when in the same height as the player, but my version is just going up and down. This was something I realized pretty late, so I just left it like that. I wanted to finish up Samus abilities and I only have the roll ability and the ability to shoot left. So I created the ball in Magic Voxel, and now if I press left control I will change the model to the ball model. I added an animation for the rolling, and here it is. For the shooting, I just instantiated a game object in front of my gun, and just like that. Whoa! Phew! There we go. Now it works both forward and upwards. I also added the death effect when I kill the enemies. While I was fixing the shooting, I also tried a few different camera angles and everyone felt really weird, so I thought I would try first person as well. Okay, enough of that. I had an issue with aiming when I was in first person though. So in the original game you can only aim straight forward, and if you press the up key you can aim up. But this in first person was not pleasant at all. I remade it so you have a free look. It's not like the original, but it just feels much better. And as you can see, I have added the UI as well. So when I get hit by an enemy, I will lose some health, and the enemies can also drop health so I can heal up. I decided only to create the first blue area of the map, since it took quite a long time and I want to get this video out. So if you liked it, please leave a like and a comment, and I might continue working on it and try to finishing it at some point. So that was all I had. So thanks for watching. Bye!